In a franchise that has produced some truly legendary villains, we're talking screaming matches, green card suspicions, and furniture ultimatums, one woman managed to rise above all of them to claim the crown nobody wants. Her name is Leida Margaretha, and by the time her season ended, she hadn't just annoyed viewers, she had outraged them. So today we're breaking down exactly how she became the most hated woman in 90-day Fiancé history. Leida was introduced to audiences in Season 6, arriving from Indonesia to marry Eric Rosenbrook, a military veteran living in Baraboo, Wisconsin. On paper, it was a classic 90-day love story, a 40-year-old American man, an international romance website, and a woman 11 years his junior who claimed to have a medical degree, a modeling career, and a wealthy family back home. The red flags started flying before she even landed. Eric was a divorced dad with 3 kids and a modest apartment. Leida, by her own account, was used to luxury. She constantly reminded everyone of the lifestyle she was supposedly giving up to be with Eric. Fans questioned this almost immediately. If her family was so wealthy, why did she arrive with seemingly no financial contribution to the relationship? Why was Eric footing every bill? The answer, many suspected, was that the wealth was largely a performance. The moment that first turned the internet against Leida was almost comically petty, and yet somehow perfectly revealing of her character. When Eric brought her to his apartment for the first time, Leida was horrified. Not by a condemned building, not by dangerous living conditions, by a moderately messy space. Like, she reacted as if she'd been brought to a crime scene. She later brought her entire family from Indonesia to tour the apartment, seemingly to document and amplify her disgust. She expected everything to be of a high standard and was particularly upset when reality didn't match her vision. For viewers watching someone move across the world for love and immediately treat her partner's home like an embarrassment, it was hard to watch, but the worst was still coming. This is where Leida shifted from difficult personality to full villain status. Eric had children from his previous marriage, and like a responsible parent, he paid child support. Leida didn't see it that way. She openly complained that the money going to support his kids could be going toward her, toward a bigger wedding, nicer furniture, a better life for them as a couple. She essentially asked Eric to choose between supporting his existing children and satisfying her wants. And shockingly, Eric started seriously considering it. Fans were stunned. This wasn't a misunderstanding or a cultural miscommunication. This was a woman demanding a man defund his own children. If the child support issue made fans dislike Leida, what she did to Tasha made them despise her. Tasha was Eric's teenage daughter who lived in the apartment. Leida made it clear from the start that the living arrangement wasn't what she expected. She blamed Tasha for the mess in the apartment and felt that Tasha did it on purpose to upset her. Arguments escalated. Leida pushed Eric to remove his own daughter from her home, and Eric, unbelievably, complied. Cameras captured that tearful departure. A teenage girl and forced out of her own home by her father's new girlfriend. What made it even worse? Tasha had originally been the one renting the apartment and had let her dad move in. Leida then filed for a restraining order against Tasha. A restraining order against a teenager she'd known for weeks. Beyond the behavior on camera, fans started poking holes in Leida's entire story. There were rumors that Leida had fled Indonesia to escape a ruined reputation after allegedly being involved in a car crash. The claims about her medical degree and modeling career were questioned. The wealthy family background felt increasingly like a constructed image. Then things got darker. The backlash became so severe that Leida and Eric took down their social media accounts after receiving death threats. And the post-show years brought even more chaos. In 2023, Leida was arrested on charges including theft from a business setting, forgery, and wire fraud against a financial institution after allegedly stealing thousands from her employer. Then, in early 2025, she faced charges of domestic violence while armed and felony bail jumping. 90-Day Fiancé has given us manipulators, cheaters, and people who genuinely seem to be in it for a green card. But Leida Margaretha hit differently. Because her cruelty was aimed at a child, her entitlement was shameless and unrelenting, and the man who should have protected his daughter chose her instead. She didn't just get a villain edit. She was the villain. And unfortunately for everyone involved, the story didn't end when the cameras stopped rolling.